Click start stream, and then we'll start 3. You don't have to go up there. It's fine. As long as
test 1, 2. Hold on.
Yeah,
no,
we're fine.
oh, I'm just getting the levels right.
Here live inside Bulldog Stadium in Hemet, California. This is Friday Night Football right here on PlayOnSports.com. Tonight, it's the first Mountain Pass League game featuring the Tahquitz Titans taking on the Hemet Bulldogs alongside Tim Parker. Man, you need us making the call now, Tim. Let's talk about Tahquitz first. We got to mention this team, a team that has been on the rise, finishing nearly in the bottom of the southern section. All of a sudden has jumped up 150 places to start league play at 4-1. They've already doubled the win total, but they still got a lot to accomplish.
Yeah, man, you're right. I mean, this team coming last year from 2-8 and now already at a 4-1 record. I mean, this team is definitely on the rise. They've definitely surprised many people. Especially in a player like Jonte Price, who's averaging almost 315 yards per game in the rush game. And so get ready to see a lot of runs from Jonte Price. And from Hemet, we got a lot of passing in Alex Denbaugh and a lot of running in Art Cruz.
And talking about Tahquitz as well, they actually have a really good running game, but at the same time, you have to mention that they got a really good mix of an offensive attack. Not only they can run the ball well, but they got a really good arm in Benjamin Moreno.
They do, and it's going to be interesting to see how Tahquitz mixes it up between Benjamin Moreno and Jonte Price, and to see which attack comes out on top here tonight. So we'll see how the game goes.
To get a quick timeout here on this one, this is Friday Night Football right here on PlayOnSports.com.
Match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match.
Welcome back here to the PlayOn Sports pregame show right here on PlayOnSports.com. Again, this is Tahquitz taking on the Hemet Bulldogs. And as we left off here, you talk about this Tahquitz team and a very competitive competitive offensive attack. And not only not to mention Jonte Price and his running scheme averaging, I lost track after 200, 300 yards a game. But you also have to mention also a mix between Michael Stewart and a really good arm in Benjamin Moreno. They got a lot of weapons they can really work with.
Well, and I think, Manny, that's kind of an understated type of play that Tahquitz has. I mean, we talk so much about Jonte Price and his, dishing and dashing and going up the field. But I think one thing we do forget to mention is, like you said, is Michael Stewart and Benjamin Moreno and that whole huge connection. I think what Hemet has to be careful of tonight is if they focus too much on Jonte Price, that Michael Stewart will get into the open field and make a big play for these Tahquitz Titans.
And you talk about this opponent in Hemet, although they are 1-4, and yes, they are one of the bottom teams in the Mountain Pass League, averaging just under 40 points per game. Looking at this Tahquitz team and considering their opponents the rest of the season in league play, their only opponent under 500 the rest of the year is Hemet. The rest of the way, each team is 4-1 or better in their league.
Yeah, and that's what's going to make this whole season, the rest of the season for Tahquitz is very exciting, is there are a total of 4 teams in their league that are 4-1. And so when you have a league that's so tightly close in ranking and in standing, it's going to make the rest of the league very interesting to see where Tahquitz comes on top, especially with their big turnaround. I think they might be a dark horse coming into the rest of their league play.
The captains are meeting up at midfield. We'll take a quick timeout right here. This has been the PlayOn Sports pregame show. This is PlayOnSports.com, your home for high school sports. Stick around, folks. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back here, folks, to Hemet High School and Bulldog Stadium. Again, it's the Tahquitz Titans coming in with a record of 4-1 in their first Mountain Pass League game against the Hemet Bulldogs. The Bulldogs won the toss and deferred to receive in the second half. Kick is up, and we are underway here in Mountain Pass League play. Seaver takes it up down to the 30, up to the 35, and gets brought down up to the right hash mark. Taking the kick was Sean Rue on the play. Taking the snaps tonight will be Alex Denbaugh, averaging 130 yards plus per game, and one of the big offensive powers for this Hemet ball club.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Hemet comes out against a Tahquitz defense who has, we know against one of their games, they've shut out a team. And they just came out on top, and they were actually one of our players of the game. So it'll be interesting to see how Hemet attacks this Tahquitz defense.
Denbaugh here under center on 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. On the shovel pass, flag on the play as he gets brought down to the line of scrimmage, and no more. Flag on the play as I believe it's in the area of holding.
I think, Manny, that's going to be a face mask. It was pretty blatant to the refs, and his hand was up against his face mask.
And that is the signal there. Face mask called against Tahquitz, and already, although it's just early in this one. Tahquitz already putting that ball here near their own territory. In fact, it will be at midfield, as a matter of fact. And, you know, you give a team like Hemet, who really needs a pick-me-up, and you give them 15 yards to start off the easy way.
Well, and one thing we also have to mention is who is going to be able to control their penalties, who's going to be really more disciplined on the line of scrimmage when it comes to the penalties. So it'll be, let's see who comes out on top with the penalties.
Quick pass down to Matt Parker. Parker taken for about 5 yards on the quick shovel pass. And he reads it down to the 45. Setting up now 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Again, Hemet coming in only putting up 47 points per game, but right now it seems like they've got on 2 plays the hang of things.
Yeah, and I think they're going to go with this kind of short game. I think they know that the Tahquitz defense is pretty strong up front, so they're going to go with probably a couple short passes, go with maybe the option or two, and kind of go off from there.
Sean Rue takes the handoff about a yard short of the 1st down. So it looks as if it'll be positioned right here on 3rd down and maybe about half yard to go. And again, you talk about, again, this Tahquitz defense, and really the primary has been the defensive line. Although you can say the secondary has really improved, but in all reality, the defensive line has been a key part in this game. On 3rd down and short, the quick quarterback sneak gets them just enough as it crosses the 1st down marker, and that will move the chains.
And the one game I was talking about, Manny, was Rubidoux. I mean, Rubidoux's main attack was their run, and Tahquitz really held them to no scoring at all. And so I think Hemet knows that. They're going to really go to their pass game, which is their strong point, and they're going to really see if they and test their cornerbacks.
On the handoff, there is John Romanski. Romanski up to the far hash mark and gets maybe about a yard as he runs right into the pile, setting up now 2nd down and 9 yards to go. And again, you know, this Tahquitz team that last year finishing 2-8 and very fortunate to get most of their players back and even their head coach as well, and have already doubling their win total, but this time just before league play.
Well, and one thing we can comment about Dennis Gregovich is he started all sophomores last year. When you start all sophomores last year, that comes with experience. And when you have experience coming into another year of Tahquitz football, as you can see in their record, they've completely turned around and they've really shown who they can be. And I think this Tahquitz team is really going to be scary, not just this year, but into coming next year as well.
Setting up now 3rd down and about 10 yards to go on the incomplete pass down to Sean Rue. Rolling out to the left side, throwing it to, by the looks of it, Vance Etmer, as he had to hurry it before getting sacked. About 5 yards off on the play, and that'll be an incomplete pass. Setting up 4th down, and there's the stop that Tahquitz got. And they'll take the ball here most likely after a punt, but it looks as if the offense may be staying on the field.
Yeah, one thing we see a lot in high school is on 4th down, and if they're about on the 40-yard line, it's always tough to punt it because the punters aren't skilled enough to get it into that 10-yard area. But it'll be interesting to see how Hemet comes out on this 4th down.
As Hemet sets up on the shotgun, whistle and a flag on the play, and that's deemed an offside or a false start call. Offside technically in the offense. That'll move him back about 5, and it looks as if the punting team for Hemet will be heading out onto the field.
And this will be good for Hemet. It'll pin Tahquitz back. It'll allow Tahquitz to do a little bit more work than Hemet would like to. So this will be everybody at home, watch out because Jonte Price is up next.
I'm telling you, he's on my fantasy team, as a matter of fact, and I'm first place. I am first place in my league, folks. On the punt. High and deep, up inside the 15, taking a short Hemet bounce, and it goes out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line. I believe it's going to be down at about the 12. And here comes the Hemet offense and the weapons of Jonte Price, Michael Beasley, Derek Peters, and Benjamin Raider.
Yeah, I think you mentioned Michael Beasley, but I think he's
a
basketball player.
Michael
there,
Stewart
Manny.
was the guy I wanted to mention.
Yeah,
Michael Beasley,
he could be like Michael Beasley.
He's got the speed of Beasley, I can definitely tell you that.
Yeah.
But again, you have a lot of weapons, though, on this Hemet side, and you will see a lot of them if it's the first time you've seen this Tahquitz team play.
And it looks like they're lining up a little wide there, so let's see how Tahquitz comes out.
Offensive line spread out here on 1st down and 10. Ball at the Tahquitz 12. The handoff here to Jonte Price. Price up at the 25, up at the 30. clears a couple of tackles, and then gets brought down at the 32. A little shimmy shake there.
Oh, Nelly. I mean, Jonte Price, you can really see his shake and bake, and I think the other thing that really Tahquitz uses their advantage is their hurry-up offense. It really keeps their defense on their toes and tires them out, and I think it's what Tahquitz really prepares for.
Back on the spread here, first down. Again, Price will take the handoff, but the Hemet line brings them down behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of about 1. So you got Benjamin Moreno under center, and Jonte Price already on 2 snaps taking 2 handoffs, and an unusual setup here as they kind of, as we've seen here, spreading out the offensive line, and it's really given at least Price over the first 2 looks a lot of room.
Yeah, and I think it's keeping Hemet on their toes, kind of scratching their heads, saying, what are they going to do? What are they going to run? Are they going to pass? I mean, when you see a spread offense, you automatically think, oh, they're going to pass. But I think when you think of Tahquitz and Jonte Price, you got to be ready for anything. And so I think Hemet's, again, got to stay on their toes, and they got to be ready for either Jonte Price, Michael Stewart, and maybe even Benjamin Moreno using his legs.
A late flag brings them down near the 50-yard line. Here, the quick pass up to the receiver, and Talton Tavares, who snags it over his head and gets down at about the 50, into Hemet territory. A quick 3-yard gain, now setting up here second down, and looks as if about maybe 7 yards to go. Back on the hurry up, with 3 receivers down to his left-hand side. Moreno here in the shotgun with Derek Peters behind him as the running back. Peters will take the handoff, runs into the pile, tries to escape, crosses the first down marker, and gets tackled down, I believe, at the 37. A 13-yard gain, moving the chains.
Well, and Manny, one thing I really like to mention about Tahquitz and their run game is usually when you see a run, the running back will just kind of give up, or he'll just kind of not really punch through. Tahquitz really lowers the shoulder, and they really punch through the defender, and by doing that, they definitely get a lot more yards on their offense.
Jonte Price back on the field, and he'll take the handoff and runs right into a sea of red on a 2-yard loss. Right now, Hemet reading Jonte Price very well. On 3 handoffs, Price has lost yards.
No, that's okay. I think it's kind of what happens. The offensive line will break down a little bit, but I think if they keep on lowering their shoulder and they use that little shake and bake that they got, I think Tahquitz will be just fine. And don't forget, Michael Stewart is usually their second option.
On second down on the shotgun, quick pass down to the receiver, tries to shed through 1 tackle and then gets brought down after, I believe, a 7-yard gain, though there is some yellow on the play. It was a call by the side judge over at the line of scrimmage.
And that's usually in the area of holding, maybe a block in the back. It looks like the refs are discussing.
They're going to say there's too many men on the field. It's going to be called against Tahquitz, and that'll move him back about 5. They may decline it, though, considering it is a 3rd down penalty, or it is a 2nd down penalty. They didn't get many yards in the play. But instead they will, by the looks of it, the line of scrimmage marker is back to where it started, and they're going to take the penalty. So moving back about 5 yards, now setting up second down now, this time in 18. So costly penalty here. Was a short gain though, but nonetheless, that'll push him back now 5 yards more here, setting now second down at about 18 yards to go. Back in the shotgun. Benjamin Moreno here with Jonte Price behind him as the running back. 2 receivers to his right. Moreno here taking his time. Clock ticking here, 7:20 to go. Price will take the handoff, running into the pile and getting maybe about 2 yards. And after that first run, it seems as if Price and the Hemet defense have been kind of colliding here and there.
Yeah, and one thing we'd also like to talk about is Tahquitz. I think what they do in their first half is they kind of feel out the other team. They really try to figure out how they're coming at them, defensively wise, defensive line wise, linebacker wise, even cornerback wise, so then they can come back into the second half and then really take advantage of what their weakness is.
On 3rd down now and long, here's Moreno dropping back, firing it up the middle, pass complete to Boyd. Boyd up at the 15, down to 10 at the 5, and how about that? A 3rd down conversion takes them into the house.
And Manny, that was wide open in the middle of the field. I think Tahquitz really saw where Hemet's weaknesses in the middle of the field. And when you can notice that right away, you can obviously, like Tahquitz did, get a quick score and get some points on the board.
On third down and about 15, Benjamin Moreno finds Mytorius Boyd up the middle, had the first down, but saw a bunch of green in front of him as he took it into the end zone. Setting up now for 2, but on the reverse, they go nowhere.
Yeah, and that's also another thing that Tahquitz likes to do is they really like to come out in the field goal and maybe and switch it up to 2 points. It's something like USC likes to do, maybe because their kicker isn't strong enough. But nevertheless, I don't think Tahquitz really has to worry too much about that. They have a pretty strong run game and also a pass game in Michael Stewart.
So on a third down and 15, it was Benjamin Moreno to Mytorius Boyd for a 55-yard touchdown pass. Tahquitz leads us now here by a score of 6-0. We'll take a timeout right here. This is Friday Night Football right here on PlayOnSports.com.
Tonight's game is being brought to you by our title sponsor, Trinity Energy Solutions. Trinity Energy Solutions, a green energy company, specializes in the installation of power-saver energy-saving systems. For more information, find TES online at trinityenergysolutions.org or call them at 951-654-0824. Trinity Energy Solutions, saving energy across the world.
Tricks up their sleeve as Benjamin Moreno found a receiver wide open for a 55-yard touchdown pass to Mytorius Boyd, and they now lead it by a score of 6-0 on the 55-yard touchdown pass. And there comes Hemet here, a chance to break free. On the return there, Gary Grisham found a lot of open space along the sideline and takes it into Tahquitz territory.
Yeah, and if that kicker hadn't stayed back for, that's what they call their safety, he would have had a quick score and it would have been a whole different ball game about now. But, that's something that Tahquitz can easily fix. That they just got to make sure they stay in their lane so they can make an easy tackle, and so they can get back on the field.
Hemet comes back on offense here at first down and 10 under center again, Alex Denboth, but this time here in the shotgun, single back. Taking the handoff is Sue. Sue runs into a couple of white jerseys and then gets brought down, but before a gain of about 5 yards on the play. And, league play is very interesting because they've seen these teams year in and year out, and although Hemet is 1-4 for Tahquitz, you can't take him lightly.
Well, and one thing you can talk about in any league play is that's where it really counts, and that's where teams really start to light it up. Just because Hemet is 1-4 doesn't mean that they'll come out and go undefeated in league. That's what really counts. So I think if you really, these coming weeks are going to be very interesting in regards to the Mountain Pass League to see who really comes out on top, who really can show that they can really matter in this league.
Back on the gain, Rue only gains about a yard here on third down. Tenpaw, pass complete up along the far side. They got the first down. The receiver gets brought down inside the 30, down to the 28. A quick pass, gains of about 8 yards, and that will move the change for a first down.
And like I said, Manny, the Hemet is going to go to their quick passes. They're not going to go for any deep bombs right now. They just want to really get up the field. They want to get a score because they know Hemet is they know Tahquitz is going to get very fast. They know Michael Stewart's going to get downfield, so they just want to move slowly up the field. And maybe even if they move slow, they might get a big run or a big gain out of it.
One guy that does not want to go slow, though, is Sean Rue as he takes the handoff running to the far side, gaining just enough for a first down. I believe it looks as if he got 11 on the play. And again, this Hemet offense is starting to kind of kick things here into high gear.
Well, and I think Rue is actually their big runner or their big scorer, their power runner. Usually he averaging about a touchdown a game. So you want to watch out for Rue when he's in because he's their big scorer.
Rue again wins the handoff up along the far side, inside the 10, down inside the 5, and then gets tackled at about the half-yard line, taking a bunch of white jerseys with them, setting up first down and goal. They're going to say he's actually down at the 2.5. But right now, this Hemet offense, as you look at the stats there, about 3.5 yards per carry. But right now, he's averaging in this game well above that.
Oh yeah, and I think like we can see on our screen there, Rue is still in the game, and don't be surprised if he maybe does a leap over the end zone and gets a score here.
Here is Rue with the handoff, but Tahquitz sniffs him, maybe. I believe there was a fumble on the play up along inside the end zone. Tahquitz may have fallen on top of it, and they'll take it for a touchback.
Wow, and that's a huge turnaround when you have an offense who's underrated, that's going into the end and they're going to score. They could have easily gone on top, and you fumble on the goal line. That's just a backbreaker. But there is still you still have 3 more quarters of play to go, so it is a little hiccup, but it's okay. It looks like they recovered in the end zone, so it'll go onto the 20-yard line. But that's okay. I think you got to make sure you have confidence in your defense. They can hold up Tahquitz.
Yeah, Sue lost the ball as he tried to escape, trying to, juke a defender off, but he lost the ball inside the end zone, and Tahquitz found a gift. So the escape without giving up any points. Now on first down, a quick pass down to the far side, gaining of about 5 yards, and that is a killer there for Hemet. You're that close to the end zone, and you let the running back just cough up a chance to score 6.
Yeah, and that's just hopefully Sean Rue's confidence isn't too down. I think that's something that it happens. I think what you have to do is you just got to get back on your feet and say, I'm going to punch it in next time, and you just got to make sure you take care of the ball, take care of the rock as you take it into that end zone.
After the 2-yard gain here, third down, Moreno here in the shotgun, a quick handoff, but all but Moreno moved before the ball did, and that is an automatic 5-yard penalty.
And I think when you have that hurry-up offense, everybody's really excited. They're ready to get off on the ball. They're really excited to get the play going. I think you just got to maybe stay a little bit more disciplined and just wait for the cadence, or even just watch the ball. So if you wait for the ball to move, then play can resume.
Yeah, that's what you get when you're that excited to move on, especially in a no-huddle offense. But that'll move back about 5. Third down and 7. Clock ticking here, under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter of play. Moreno takes a snap, fires up to the far side and right over the receiver. And a Michael Stewart incomplete. So although Hemet could not score, they'll take the 3-and-out anyway and bring back the offense.
And that's, I think, a good win for the Hemet defense. They held the Tahquitz offense virtually still in the same area, and they'll have great field position going on this next drive for Hemet.
Gary Grisham will take the punt for the Bulldogs. Tynes will kick it away. A high one up along the far side, and it takes a big Tahquitz bounce. And it'll stop at about the 32.5-yard line. So a nice punt there by the Titans, setting up first down and 10 at the 32.5 here for the Hemet Bulldogs.
Yeah, and one thing we also have to watch out for is when the Hemet Bulldogs are returning the ball. As we can see on that one kickoff, he had a huge gain. And so when you see something like that, you definitely want to watch out for Mr. Grisham there, because he's definitely can take it down the field if you're not careful about where you're supposed to be positioned.
Yeah, as you're already seeing here in these last 2 drives, this Hemet offense, although not putting up a lot of points, they do have a lot of speed. Right now on first down and 10 under center is Denbaugh. Denbaugh handing it off to Sue into the pile and gains about 2 yards, fighting for those extra yards, setting up now second down at about 8.
Well, and I think the Tahquitz D-line is starting to recognize the Hemet run game. I mean, we noticed in the stats that Hemet does have a pass game, but I think they're trying something new, and the Tahquitz Titans may not necessarily be ready for it, but I think if they stay focused, they'll definitely be okay.
On the reverse, here's Vance Emter as Emter moving to the near side and gets down for about a 1-yard gain, if that. But now setting up third down on relatively short. Hemet now with their first real test. They are 0 for 1 on third down conversions. A chance to extend this drive. Third down at about 6. An obvious false start as 3 receivers up along the far side moved just well before the ball did.
Well, and let's hope that it's, again, a small hiccup. Like I said, even in the beginning of the game, you got to watch for your penalties. Penalties definitely hurt you, whether they're small or large, and whether third and 5 can be a whole big a difference than 3rd and 10. You have to go 5 extra yards, especially against this Tahquitz defense, who's very strong. So you got to be a lot more disciplined on that line and just wait for the ball.
3rd down now and about 11, opening up more of the pass playbook here. Denpa, play fake, throws it up along the far side. Receiver had a hand up, but didn't realize that the ball was going right to him. Justice Judge didn't look up, and it went right over his head.
Well, I think Demba, had a little bit too much anticipation instead of reading his receiver. It looked like he kind of did a little pass fake and then just kind of threw it up there, hoping that his receiver would get to it. Because the receiver, I don't think, really saw where the ball was after that. So we'll see how Hemet responds.
Now there's 3 and outs committed here by the Tahquitz defense, forcing a punt by the Bulldogs. Bulldogs will kick it away, a line drive, but it's a beauty. A short Hemet bounce takes it inside the 10. It's going to be down at about the 7. That was a bullet. Then nears the end zone. And now Tahquitz has a long way to go.
Yeah, and that's the real punt game of Hemet. I think Hemet looks like they have really strong special teams, and that is where a team can really kill you if you're not careful. You got to stay disciplined and you got to stay ready. You just got to make a strong open field tackle and be ready for that special teams, because if you're not ready, that's where a team can really make you and break you when it comes time to crunch time situations.
1st down and 10, ball at the 8-yard line where the ball was down after the punt. Marino here in the shotgun. A high snap, just catches it though. He's got to run away with it, and he somehow gets 3 yards there after the high snap.
Wow, taking a broken play into minus yards into plus yards, and that's why Benjamin Moreno is a huge leader on this team. He really knows what he's doing. He can take a broken play and make it into some plus yards.
Setting him now 2nd down and about 6 yards to go, under 1:45 to go in this first quarter of play. Marino here, back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left. Takes a snap, stays in the pocket, fires up to the far side. Over the hands of Michael Stewart, and incomplete.
Yeah, and that was a little strong coming from Benjamin Moreno, but that's okay. I think Benjamin Moreno will start to see where his receivers are in relation to how hard he should throw it, and he'll really kind of get settled down, and I think you better watch out because Michael Stewart can really break free if you're not careful.
Now 3rd down and about 6 to go. Back on the shotgun, rolling out to the left-hand side. Pass complete up along the 26 and gets pushed out of bounds at the 27. Big gain there now, setting up 1st down and 10. That'll move the chains.
And that's a good sign for Tahquitz. Hemet's defense has got to realize they can't stay focused too much on one area of play for Tahquitz. They got both weapons. So, I think they just got to play a good, solid game of defense against Tahquitz, and I think they'll make this a game.
1st down, the handoff here to Price. Price breaking free, up down to the 50, turning on the Jets down to the 40, and he breaks it out into the end zone for the score!
Ladies and gentlemen, can I say that Jonte Price was not going to be a big factor in this game? He took it all the way from the 33 into the end zone. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Jonte Price.
Pow down to the wondrous running back in Jonte Price. On 65 yards, taking it to the house. And now they push it up to a 2-score lead. Titans here setting up for 2, so it seems. Now they're going to move up, and they're going to still go for 2. Tahquitz here on top, 12-0 here in this first quarter. On the reverse. Now the double reverse. Now a pass. Find a receiver wide open, but it's tipped away. On the play, Alex Sanborn. We've got a hand on there to break it up. But a 12-0 Tahquitz lead pushes it up to a 2-possession cushion. You're watching high school football right here on PlayOn Sports.
Our first quarter was brought to you by My Mama's Pizza. Located on the corner of Sanderson and Devonshire, My Mama's Pizza is open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Right now, you can get a large one-topping pizza, a large salad, and 4 soft drinks for just $22.99. Take advantage of this limited-time special. Visit My Mama's Pizza today because nobody feeds you like Mama.
And I'm telling you, you can never get enough of that Mama's Pizza, that gooey cheese, and just that wondrous salad and beverage. I'm telling you, it's making me hungry, Tim.
And not just one beverage, 4.
4 beverages. And in fact, we have 4 staff here. You know, we got myself, you got our producer, Joel Diaz, and our camera guy, and Jonathan Silva. That'll feed us all.
Yeah, maybe send one up to the press box here, please.
Not too far, actually, since we are in Hemet. On the kickoff here, flag on the play. I believe there was a defender that jumped offside, so that'll push the Tahquitz special teams back about 5 yards, position to the NFL regulation kickoff.
Hey, now we get to see the real leg of the Tahquitz kicker.
12-0 here as the last touchdown scored by the wondrous and Jonte Price. His first of what may be a couple more here today. Don't want to jinx him, knock on wood. Kickoff taken, nope, inside the 30. And the special teams will bring it out to the 37 on the 7-yard gain. Right in front of us here is the Hemet band, and they are showing, a little bit of a, maybe some sound effects there to lighten the mood.
Well, it's definitely good to show some school spirit. I mean, especially when you see a band so big at the high school level, it's always good to see that they have some school spirit out here to support their team. And not just the band, but just to see the stands full over here on the Hemet side is always a good sign of a good football program.
Yeah, both these schools are only separated by one street, and that's Florida Avenue. And considering that is the 74 here, only 6 miles apart. First down and 10, ball at the 37. Denball dropping back after the snap. Pass complete down to James Trinidad, and he gains of about 5 yards.
And again, Manny, like I said, they're keeping the game short. Those short pass plays. I mean, that's what's really going to be the bread and butter for this Hemet offense. I mean, they do have their run game in Sean Rue and Art Cruz, but again, I think right now what's working for this Hemet offense is that short pass game.
Second down now at about 5. Denball under center. Sue in the backfield. 3 receivers to the right-hand side. Sue takes the quick handoff, trying to break free, and dives and gains about 4 yards before being brought down. But they're going to say he's shy of the first down marker. Clock under 30 seconds to go. 25 and counting, as a matter of fact. It looks as if Hemet might run one more play before the end of the quarter. Yes, they will. Back under center, Denball. Quarterback pushes the pile, and it looks as if the referee is signaling that it is just enough for a first down. So you gain about 1.5 yards, and that will move the chains.
Yeah, and that's always a good sign for an offense. Getting a first down, and especially on that third down, I think it's definitely a sign of a good, strong offense.
On the hurry up here, under 5 seconds to go, they will actually run one more, as a matter of fact. Denball, play fake, throws it over the head of James Trinidad as he was trying to break free, wide open, incomplete. And that is the last play of the first quarter. Touchdown scored by Mytorius Boyd and the wondrous Jonte Price. As you see on your screen, with Tahquitz on top, 12-0 here in the opening game of Mountain Pass League play. This is Friday Night Football right here on PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports broadcast program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com/SBP.
And if you'd like to find out more, just log on to PlayOnSports.com. We've got over 100 schools signed up for PlayOn Sports. As a matter of fact, up in California, we have most of the sections out in Northern Cal, including the northern section and as close to SoCal as the central section. We're as near as Bakersfield and also Fresno. We're also in charge of all the championship games for all the sports all throughout the Northern California sections. You'll see all the action right here on PlayOnSports.com. Back in action here on first down. The quarterback sneak, as a matter of fact, gaining about 2 yards actually on second down, as a matter of fact. Interesting play call here, Tim.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of maybe something that Tahquitz may not necessarily be ready for. They definitely, we have Sean Rue and Art Cruz, but you don't really see a whole lot of Alex Denbaugh using his legs. I mean, we see his passing yards are phenomenal, but we don't really see too much of how many rush yards he has. So it'll be good to see him use his legs to get up the field.
The clock did not run after that snap. They actually didn't set the clock into 12 minutes to reset the quarter. So clock is back on here. Clock ticking now, under 11:45 to go. So we're just underway here in Bulldog Stadium for the second quarter with the Titans on top here by a score of 12-0. If you're just joining us, Montoya's board for 55 after a pass completion, and then on a run, it was Jonte Price for 65. Ball is loose after Sue dived for the first down, but he fell right on top of it. Gains of about 8 yards, and that will move the chains.
Yeah, and Rue's got to be really careful about holding onto that rock. I mean, we've already seen, even in the NFL, we see teams or players who fumble the ball get taken out, and they don't play for a period of time. So Sean Rue, if he really wants to keep his legs going, if he really wants to, show Tahquitz what he's all about, he's got to hang on to that ball and make sure that Hemet, controls this game.
This time back in the shotgun, Denbaugh takes a snap and will try to run with it, but a bunch of white jerseys sniffing out the play on the sack on a loss of 3.
And again, that's that Tahquitz defense, that front four really pushing forward and not allowing that run game of Hemet to get by, especially from Alex Denbaugh. I think they've really sniffed that out, and I think Tahquitz has really started getting a handle of what Hemet is bringing to them.
You can say it's a loss of 1 here, second down and 11. Denbaugh dropping back, pass almost complete as Anthony Dudley could not bring it in. Had a chance to maybe get the first down, but it'll set up third down and 11.
Well, and we're starting to see who's making more mistakes, really, Manny. I mean, we see a lot of drop passes. We've seen 2 fumbles. We've seen a lot of mistakes by Hemet, and Tahquitz is really capitalizing on lots of them. So, maybe Hemet can correct these, but let's hope, we'll see what happens.
Third down now and 11. Back in the shotgun. Here's Denbaugh. Sue to the left of him in the backfield. 2 receivers now to the right-hand side after the motion. Denbaugh stays in the pocket now. Fires a quick pass. Trying to look for the receiver on the far end, Matt Parker, but he was a few yards short there to make the catch, and then now sets a fourth down.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see. I think Denbaugh needs to start getting on the same page as his receivers, because every time he's done that pass fake, he's thrown it up, but the receivers don't really necessarily look like they're going for it. So I'm not sure if they're on the same page or what's going on, but I think that's something that they really need to focus on if they want to get back into this game.
So Hemet will be setting up for the punt here, fourth down and about 11. Tahquitz ready to receive it as the special teams unit is up inside the 10. Ball kicked away, takes a Hemet bounce at about the 15, and they're going to say it's down right around there. Take a quick timeout right here. Again, Tahquitz on top by a score of 12-0. You are watching high school football right here on PlayOnSports.com.
Greenleaf Gardening and Landscaping is a proud sponsor of tonight's second quarter. Located at 42337 Santee Court, Greenleaf Gardening and Landscaping is your one-stop shop for your outdoor needs. Call Hemet's Gardening and Landscaping experts today at 951-927-3693. Greenleaf for all your gardening and landscaping needs.
Back in action here on this one. Again, Tahquitz on top by a score of 12-0. On first down and 10 at the 16 on the shotgun. Here's Marino. Quick pass to Tavares as it goes right through his hands and incomplete.
Yeah, and I think that's definitely a fundamental thing that football players need to understand. And all of you watching at home, if you play football, understand you need to really use your hands to catch that ball and close your hands and watch the ball into your arm, because if you don't catch it, obviously it's a wasted play.
Second down now at about 10. Taking the handoff is Price. Price at the 20. Crossing it down to the 25 and brought down, I believe, a yard short of a first down. But a big run by Price now sets it up from second and long now to third and short. You're going to say it's third down now and about a half a yard, but the referees will stop the clock, and they're going to say it's a first down, as a matter of fact.
And then I think, you can really credit that to Jonte Price. I think, again, he's really powering his legs, using his shoulder, and pushing through those tackles. And I think that's what's going to get you those extra yards.
Definitely the run he needed, too, especially since in that first quarter, besides the big run, has been kind of quiet. On first down, looking for Michael Stewart as he had a jump for the ball, but it's out of his reach, incomplete.
And that was a beautiful pass by Benjamin Moreno, regardless of whether Michael Stewart caught it or not. I mean, that's why Benjamin Moreno is definitely a huge leader on this team. He can really, he's shown that he's put in a lot of work in practice. He's really shown that he has connections with all of his receivers, and a lot of connection with his running backs.
On second down, now in 10, here's Price again on the handoff, finding a bunch of space, breaking through a couple of tackles. 20 yards there on the run. Jonte Price knows how to turn a 3-yard gain somehow to a big gain, and that'll move again the chains.
Well, I think Jonte Price, you can definitely already credit him to 100 yards per game. So, again, Jonte Price putting on a show here in Hemet.
First down now in 10 at the Tahquitz 46 on the quick shotgun. Pass complete to Michael Stewart as Stewart turns over and gains about 9 after being brought out of bounds. Ball down now inside of Hemet territory, setting up now second down and about half yard to go.
Well, and what Tahquitz is doing is they go to one weapon in Jonte Price, and the very next play they go to Michael Stewart. So it's definitely keeping that Hemet defense looking both ways.
Second down now about half a yard. On the rollout, on the play action, pass complete to Mytorius Boyd, about 10 yards as he's down inside the 30. First down and 10 again.
And again, there's that pass play. You have a Jonte Price big run, and then the next two plays, pass. It's a good mixture of football, and that's what Hemet's really got to, buckle down and stay ready.
Another quick pass, this time to Stewart. Up down to the 30, now to the 25. Breaks through one tackle, escapes another, trying to do a spin move. He does cross the first down marker and gets down at the 15. Couple of quick plays, and again, Tahquitz wasting no time to drive down the field.
And when you have a big play like the Jonte Price play, and then two big plays in passing plays, and then you have a hurry-up offense, boy, you got to imagine how tired that defense can get on the go.
On the handoff here is Peters, as Peters runs it to the far side and gains about 6 or 7. So second down, most likely in about, looks like the line of scrimmage are saying it's a 7-yard gain, so second down and 3. Again, a lot of wins, because as we talked about in the beginning of the broadcast, and you're seeing all of it right here on this drive. A whistle and a timeout called by Hemet, and they want to really slow things down.
Yeah, and I think, again, like we've mentioned, when you have a big Jonte Price run, when you have two big pass plays, one of them even including Michael Stewart, and then on top of that, a hurry-up offense that's really got to tire out your defense. And I think any other teams that are going to play Tahquitz, if you want to prepare for Tahquitz, more importantly is be ready for that hurry-up offense, because that is what is their bread and butter. Regardless of what play they run, they're going to get you on the next play because of they're so quick. They're quick to the line. They're quick. They're ready. And, again, they tire defenses out. So, be careful out whoever's going to play Tahquitz, because they are quick.
And it's funny, as of right now, although we've seen this Hemet defense play, it just seems that they've really done their homework. And although they are aware of what Tahquitz is bringing, they've been actually one of the better teams that they've been really competing against.
Yeah, and again, we like to mention that it is league play. So, regardless of what your pre-league standings are, it all goes out the window when it comes into league. So, who knows what might happen here in the next couple quarters.
On the drop back, up the middle, looking for Asparis. Bobbled and incomplete, as there was a red jersey on top of him. On the coverage was Justice Edwards, looking for a flag, not going to get it, and that'll set up here third down and 3. back on the no huddle. Again, third down, 3 yards to go, 7:43 to go in this first half. Marino back in the shotgun. Price in the backfield, dropping back, looking for Stewart up along the far side, just out of reach, incomplete.
Yeah, and knowing Tahquitz here, they're probably going to go for it. I mean, put it in the hands of Michael Stewart, put it in the hands of Jonte Price. It's going to be a guessing game for Hemet because both of them are big playmakers.
7:39 to go here, fourth down. Peters here with the handoff. It looks as if he crossed inside the 5 down to about the 3, and that is just enough to drop the chains and set up now a first down and goal.
And like I mentioned, Manny, if you have Michael Stewart and Jonte Price, who else is going to make a big play? And there we go, have Derek Peters. He's one of those not so star-studded players, but he's definitely can make a play here and there when Jonte Price and Michael Stewart are so focused on.
Yeah, and we haven't really said Peters' name in quite a while, but the kind of guy that you want to bring out on fourth down. Price, though, this time in the backfield. First down and goal, ball at the 3-yard line. On the quick pass, looking for Stewart. It is caught, but he was just out of bounds. Could not keep 1 foot in.
Yeah, and that's what we like to call a jump ball. You just kind of throw it up there and hope that your guy comes down with it. But you also want to make sure, from Benjamin Moreno's point of view, that it's out of reach of that defensive player, so it doesn't, it's not an interception, goes back, and then your defense comes back on the field. So you want to. That's a Benjamin Moreno. He knows how to run those types of plays.
And that's the thing, you want to do it on first down. You want to do it on second or third, especially you don't want to waste any plays here. And off here to Peters, who leapfrogs and does a little spin move into the end zone. Yes! Touchdown for Tahquitz!
And there we go, a Derek Peters touchdown. No surprise. I mean, Derek Peters is that player who we don't necessarily focus on. Like we said at the top of the broadcast, Jonte Price is a star-studded player. Michael Stewart, they'll go to the pass. But we cannot forget about Derek Peters. He definitely is one of those power runners for Tahquitz.
So Derek Peters, a little spin move over the pile and into the end zone, taking it into the house for 6. An 18-0 ball game, pending now the extra point. Tahquitz again going for 2. On the low snap, a jump pass, complete in the back of the end zone. And that'll bring 2 points, but there is maybe a flag on the play. Yes, it's an illegal procedure call against the Titans. So wave off the 2 points. They're going to have to try it again.
Yeah, and if you want to refer to Michael Beasley, be my guest, Manny. That's definitely what we call a jump ball, and he definitely reached up for it. Now, unfortunately, there's a false start play, so now Tahquitz has to decide whether or not they still want to go for 2 or if they want to kick it or what's going to happen.
Officials timeout here to have Tahquitz discuss maybe what they want to do. The ball is at the 7-yard line, and you do have a lot more space to work with, so it wouldn't be unusual if the Titans did go for 2. But at the same time, you still want to keep it far enough so that Hemet doesn't make it any more interesting if they end up scoring.
Yeah, and I think one thing that Hemet can really show, one of their strengths is they've definitely stopped Tahquitz on both of their conversion plays, and I think you can see if there's a victory, that's where the Hemet defense has really shown their strength is in their conversion defense.
So Tahquitz here takes the timeout to talk things over. We will keep it right here. Get an 18-0 ball game with the Titans on top, and Tim Barker. I'm telling you, this is a great start for Mountain Pass League play for this Tahquitz team. Again, finishing 2-8 last year. Only 1-4 in league play, and it's funny because in high school football, in the Southern section, you can finish in the top 3 and make the playoffs. And then obviously you have 1 or 2 wildcard teams that can make it, but obviously for Tahquitz, they want to get the automatic bid, and they're really looking as if they're one of the teams to beat in this league.
Well, Manny, one thing we can say about Tahquitz is that they've really surprised a lot of people. I mean, last year, like you mentioned, they go 2-8. I mean, they've already doubled that, and going into league play 4-1. I mean, it's a huge victory for not just Dennis Gregovich, but for those players who just kind of went through that season last year of a 2-8 and just when you lose, even though you're playing football, you're learning a lot. It's just such a downer for you. But I mean, I can only feel for these players right now on such a high from going into league play 4-1, and their one loss going to none other than Murrieta Mesa, who's just phenomenal right now, undefeated and just powering through.
Yeah, Murrieta Mesa right now sitting at 5-0. As a matter of fact, that they're starting league play as well. And it's funny, and we'll talk about this here in a minute after Tahquitz will go for two again, an 18-0 ball game. Moreno here rolling out. He'll try to sneak it. Pass might have been complete. No, they're going to say it was dropped just shy of the end zone. No good. But an 18-0 ball game on 2 runs plays and a pass play, making it a 3-score ball game. We'll take a quick timeout right here. This is high school football, and you're watching it right here on PlayOn Sports, where high school sports lives right here.
PlayOn Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you the news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at PlayOn Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Tahquitz here on top by a score of 18-0, again on 2 running plays. One of each by Jonte Price and Derek Peters, the other on a 55-yard completion on 3rd down, as a matter of fact, from Moreno down to my Torius Boy. Tahquitz here will kick it off. 7:06 to go in this second quarter. It's a high one, and it'll be taken out inside the 10. Up down to the 20. Into a defender, and then it gets brought down shy of the 25.
And again, you got to watch out for the Hemet special teams. Looks like he's very quick. He's very quick on his toes. And if he bursts through, boy, watch out. He's going the distance.
Hemet huddling up with their team before they break free, and this is a chance to come back and make a possible drive. This will be the chance to do so. Exactly 7 minutes to go here in the first half with an 18-0 Titan lead. Denbaugh here, handing off to Sue. Sue up at the 30, into the 32, and brought down at the 33. A gain of about 7. And again, you talk about this Tahquitz team who did play Murrieta Mesa, as you mentioned a couple of weeks ago. They did lose by 13, but it was a 60-47 slugfest. And Murrieta Mesa, one of the stronger teams in their division, coming out of Division II.
Well, Manny, and combined, there was 107 points in that Murrieta Mesa game. And I can tell you, Murrieta Mesa is just demolishing all of their teams. Their last game, it was against Lakeside, and they won 70-0. I mean, their team is just so strong, especially in their pass game. I mean, I know we're going a little bit off topic, but Murrieta Mesa is just really, really strong. And I think when you look at that team, they're just on top of everything.
On 3rd down, Denbaugh pass into the hands of James Trinidad. Incomplete as it went off his hands and could not bring it in. Back on Murrieta Mesa, and you look at the teams in their division, you got Upland, who brings in a lot of D1 talent in NCAA football. You also got Ayala, South Hills, Charter Oak, Chino Hills, and Damien, Glendora, Los Osos, Claremont. You can name a lot of teams that get a lot of exposure. So Mesa, the second best team underneath Murrieta Valley, kind of going side by side, and there's a lot of competition that Tahquitz has been seeing before they're entering league play tonight.
And holy smoke, I mean, that's going to be a team you're going to have to watch out for. I mean, Tahquitz really put up a fight when they played them, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how they come out when it comes to playoff time.
So after the punt, the receiver only got of about 3 yards. He got shoveled down at the 24, and that's where the Tahquitz offense will start. Clock reading here, 5:42 to go in this first quarter, or in this first half of play, as a matter of fact. Again, with Tahquitz leading by a score of 18-0. First down and 10, again at the 24-yard line. Moreno in the shotgun with Jonte Price in the backfield. Two receivers left and right. Moreno takes the snap into the shotgun. Pass complete to Asparis. Breaks a tackle up at the 50. Turning on the Jets and then gets shoestring tackled inside the 25 down to the 23.
And again, just like Derek Peters, we also got to mention Sean Asparis, their big and quick tight end. I think he really gets out there, he gets open, and again, that's another player that defenses tend to forget about when you so focus on Jonte Price and Michael Stewart.
So that big gain now into Hemet territory on first down. Price here takes the handoff, finding a hole, sheds a tackle, and gets into the end zone for the touchdown! Jonte Price, the second of the night as he takes it into the house, 24-0.
Manny, this Jonte Price is phenomenal. I mean, if we look at his stats on the year, Jonte Price is averaging 14 yards a carry, and total yards combined is 974. So when you have a player like that, boy, I'm surprised he's not being recruited by lots of other schools. I mean, it'll be interesting to see when he gets toward his senior year what's going to happen.
And folks, I'm officially beating Joel Diaz in high school fantasy football. That's what you get for not drafting Jonte Price. 24-0, 5:16 to go. This time they go for one. Kick is up and to good. Jonte Price with the second touchdown of the night, and they break it up to a 25-0 lead. We'll take a timeout right here. This is high school football right here on PlayOnSports.com, where high school sports lives right here.
Greenleaf Gardening and Landscaping is a proud sponsor of tonight's second quarter. Located at 42337 Santee Court, Greenleaf Gardening and Landscaping is your one-stop shop for your outdoor needs. Call Hemet's Gardening and Landscaping experts today at 951-927-3693. Greenleaf for all your gardening and landscaping needs.
You can just never get enough of Jonte Price, can you, Tim?
Oh, man, every time I come to a game and we just get ready for the roller coaster of the game in Jonte Price. I mean, he just takes off, he shakes and bakes, he gets into the end zone every time. You can expect it, and you just don't know what's going to happen when it comes to Tahquitz and Jonte Price.
After the touchdown by Price, a 23-yard touchdown makes it now a four-score game at 25-0. Ball kicked away up at the 20 and then returned for about 11 yards. It's brought down at the 32. First down and 10 here for Hemet as the offense comes back out onto the field. And for this Hemet team who's really done relatively well, the only upside that they've had was on their first drive. They took it down to the 2.5, but Sioux coughed it up into the end zone, had a chance to break free and maybe make this a little bit of a ball game.
And it's those little mistakes that are really what going to hurt you. I mean, there's been a couple penalties that Hemet's had to deal with. There's a couple fumbles that they've had to deal with. And I think if you have those type of small mistakes, you know, if Tahquitz is really good at capitalizing on those, so you have to watch out.
First down and 10, Denball here under center. Sioux in the backfield, back in bunch formation. Clock here at 5:10 and counting. Denball with a high pass, a quick one, looking for Anthony Dudley over his head and incomplete.
And that's one of the things I mentioned, Manny, is Denball has really got to get on the same page as his receivers. It looks like he's kind of just throwing it up and hoping to God that the receiver catches it. But, you know, hopefully that'll be a halftime adjustment that Denball and his receivers make.
Second down now and 10. Denball in the center. Ball handed off here to Sioux. Sioux running right into the white wall, but fights for about 3 on the play. So that'll set up here third down, and actually got 4. So third down now at 6 with the ball at the 37. Up in the no huddle. Denball here in the shotgun. Single back. 3 receivers left-hand side. Sioux takes the handoff up at the 40. First down at the 45 and gets brought down at the 47. The quick handoff paying off, keeping the drive alive.
Well, and like I mentioned before, Sioux, even though we see a lot of Art really running through, Sioux is really the one who pushes through, gets the points, is their power runner. And I think right now, especially against this Tahquitz defense, Sue's got to be their guy and power through that defensive line of Tahquitz.
Clock here winding, 4:15 and counting to go in the second quarter. Back in the bunch formation, moving them in the motion. Sue will take the handoff on the triple option, but runs into the wall of white and gets back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Setting up now 2nd down and 10. The refs are actually going to give him 2 yards there on the gain after he got pushed back. So instead, it'll be 2nd down and about 8 with the ball at midfield. Denbo under center. Receivers left and right. Only one. On the pitch, here is Sue. Sue through the line of scrimmage and then gets brought back at the 49. So gain of 1 there, setting up 3rd and long.
Well, now let's hope that maybe if we see a pass play here by Hemet, maybe they do one of their short pass plays, or hopefully we see Alex Denbach connect with one of his receivers who, throughout this first half he's had a tough connection with.
3rd down and 7, as you see on the top of your screen, 2 timeouts on both sides. 3rd and 7 with Denbach under center. Play action, rolling out, looking for an option. Instead, Denbach will take it, hits down to the 42 and dives to the 40. An 8-yard gain, enough to move the chains.
Well, and that's another weapon that I think Hemet is starting to realize is that Alex Denbach can really use his legs and be another running back. So I think if we watch out for tonight, we might see an Alex Denbach score.
Denbach back under center here. 1st down, single receiver on the left-hand side. Sue takes the pitch. Up to the 40, down to the 38, and gets tackled down at the 37. Clock still going here, under 2:40 to go, again with Hemet having 2 timeouts in their pocket. A 3-yard gain here, setting up 2nd down and 7.
Maybe what Hemet is trying, if I were the coach of Hemet, what I would try and do is probably use the clock to my advantage, where there's 2:24 and counting. Maybe do run plays, take advantage of the clock so you don't allow Tahquitz to score again.
2nd down, Sue again with the handoff at the 35 and then brought down at the 32. A lot of Sue here on this drive, but he's been getting a lot of positive yards, and he's been the key factor here on this drive.
Well, and even though Art Cruz is their leading rusher, I think, like we've always been saying, Rue has been their power runner. He's been their leading scorer. I think we're going to see a lot of Sean Rue here in this game, regardless of who has more rushing yards.
Tahquitz here takes timeout. They'll take 1 of 2 to talk things over into the huddle before the 3rd down and 1. And as you said, Sean Rue has been the guy that's been the key factor, especially, I would say, offensively throughout this whole game. If it weren't for that fumble near the end zone, he'd be one of their prime performers tonight.
Well, and this would definitely be a whole different ball game. I mean, Hemet would have a score, maybe even another one if they hadn't lost that fumble, because whenever you lose the ball on the goal line, it's a downer, and it keeps your defense on the field. Your defense gets tired out, especially against the hurry-up offense of Tahquitz. So let's hope that that Hemet can get a score here and maybe even run down the clock and not allow Tahquitz to score again.
Yeah, like you said, they score here, although they do have to kick off to start the second half, as Tahquitz did win the toss and they deferred to receive in the second half. A score here can make it interesting, but again, they got to do it here with under 1:55 to go in this first half of play. Back out of the timeout, 3rd down and 2. Rue in the backfield, now breaks away, setting up as a receiver. Denbach will take it on the quarterback sneak. And the referee is saying he's shy of the 1st down. They're going to say he's down at the 30.5. 4th down now, question time here on the Hemet sideline. Looks as if they will go for it here. So 4th down and about 6. Maybe a yard and a half, or a half a yard to go. Denbach again on the sneak. Referee's in position that he's crossed the marker. Yes, so that'll move the chains here and keep the drive into Hemet's hands here. 1st down and 10 inside the 30.
Well, let's hope maybe if Hemet has a strong kicker, which it looked like pregame warm-ups, they had a pretty strong kicker. So Maybe even if they don't get a score, they can get 3 points on the board here. But we'll see what happens in the coming plays.
Denbaugh here on the play fake. Pass complete down to Dudley up along the near side. Gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
And what a good time for Alex Denbaugh to connect with one of his receivers. I mean, this whole first half, it looks like he's just kind of throwing it up, and maybe the receivers don't know quite where the ball was. But this was a perfect example of the pass game of Hemet. And I think if they keep this connection going, Hemet can really make it a lot closer game.
The Bulldogs finally breaking the ice. Pass complete from Denbaugh to Anthony Dudley up along the near side for 30 yards. 25-6 the score, pending the extra point. Bulldogs here setting up 4-1. Missing one guy along the line. And that will force the Bulldogs to call time.
Yeah, a little player confusion as see who's supposed to be on the field or not. So required them to call a timeout. But let's hope, after this extra point, we really want to see Hemet's defense really buckle down and not allow Tahquitz to score again. If they allow him to score again, it almost wipes away their hard work and the score they just made.
And very interesting to see, too, that Hemet did not use any of their 2 timeouts aside from the one that they used for special teams. Very impressive on this drive, especially using a lot of Sioux to get that close to the end zone.
Yeah, and again, Sioux has really been their runner, really pushing through. I think it's interesting to see that that Hemet's finally has gone to their pass, which is the one that's really been working. So it's a good sign to see that Hemet has gone to their pass game and that they've connected to their receiver.
So after the kick, it is up and good. A 25-7 ball game set up on the 30-yard pass play from Denbaugh down to Anthony Dudley. And you look at the clock, well, you don't see it on the screen. It reads at 1:26. That is enough time for maybe to see a little Jonte Price and a lot of this Tahquitz offense to maybe put one more score before halftime.
Well, and Tahquitz is definitely capable of doing that. But we also want to look at that Hemet. The score isn't too bad. I mean, they definitely have held their own. They can go into the locker room and say that they've done somewhat of a decent job of holding Tahquitz. Now it's going to be a question of can their defense hold them from scoring. I mean, that's really the question. No one's really been, besides maybe Murrieta Mesa, has been really able to stop this powerful Tahquitz offense. So that's going to really be the question coming into the second half of the football game.
A short high kick taken inside the 30, and it's going to be downed by Tim Neely on the fair catch at the 28. Clock didn't move. It still reads at 1:26 to go, and back on the field is the Titan offense. Again, a lot of weapons, and again, would not be surprised if they call Price's number again. He's the one that's got the nitros on his feet and can really break free.
Well, and one thing as we see now on our screen, that the Hemet has come out with 4 defensive backs, and when you have 4 defensive backs, that really shows that you don't want any deep plays going, which is smart for them. They don't want anything going deep for another score. Now it's a question of if their cornerbacks can really show what they're made of and really defend Tahquitz.
Derek Peters in the backfield this time. Flag is down.
And that was definitely movement on Michael Stewart. I think he thought the play was going, but he got confused, and it's just a penalty. And you got to show some leadership, and you got to really kind of know what's going on with your own offense.
Now after the penalty, first down and 15. Marino here back in the shotgun with Peters in the backfield. Quick pass up to Tavares. Tavares escaping a couple of tackles and then gets dragged down at the 37. So a 14-yard gain, setting up now second down and 1. A clock reading now under 1:10 to go with Tahquitz and 1 timeout left to go. Back on the shotgun, second down and 1. Moreno takes the snap, stays in the pocket. Pass fake. Looking for Tavares along the near side in front of two defenders, just out of reach and complete.
Boy, and I think that Hemet defender really got away with some PI. I mean, right as I think the referee's eyes were focused on maybe the backfield there and didn't catch that defensive back holding onto the jersey, so he got away with one there.
It's now 3rd down and about, looks as if maybe a half yard to go. The line of scrimmage marker might have moved on the last play. But in any case, 3rd down and short. Price with the handoff. It is enough for the 1st down. He gets dragged down at the 46-yard line. Under 50 to go here in the first half. The clock stops as they will move the chains and set up. Now the clock continues. Marino here takes a snap, stays in the pocket, firing it up for Michael Stewart over his head and way out of reach, incomplete.
And that was what we call the home run ball. I mean, that was just they tossed it out there hoping Michael Stewart can get some type of touch on the ball, but a little too deep, and we'll come back here and try it again.
The obvious 1st down, all or nothing play. Out of the reach of Michael Stewart here, 2nd down, now and 10. 56 yards away from Paydirt. Marino here takes a snap, firing it up to the near side. Pass complete down to Stewart. A flag on the play in the backfield as Marino was brought down after the pass, and that might be a personal foul. Yes, roughing the passer called against Hemet. That's a major blow for the Bulldogs.
Well, and it'll be. I think they probably decline the penalty because it's a 1st down. And they got more yardage out of the play than the actual penalty.
So set up the big gain on the pass play plus 15 more, and again that's a huge dent on this Bulldog defense. Although they gave a 15 on the pass play, that's 15 more after the penalty.
Yeah, you'll have to excuse me. That was added. I mean, that's just a huge blow, and now the Hemet. We're going to see the real true colors of the Hemet defense and to see if they can hold Tahquitz from scoring.
And like I said, a minute 30 might be enough time for Tahquitz to put one more on the scoreboard. Clock reading under 30 to go. Price in the backfield, 1st down and 10 at the 25. Moreno throwing up to the far side, looking for Stewart. Jump ball, pass complete for the touchdown, but there's a flag on the play. There might have been a push-off. Is it against the defense? Looking for the head judge. Pass interference called against the defense. Decline it, and that'll be a touchdown.
Oh, boy, and that's just a huge backbreaker for Hemet. I mean, they had a score. They had a good chance of going at halftime with a sizable deficit, but They let one go, and now Tahquitz is really showing their dominance here on the football field.
It took them a minute and 7 seconds to get into Paydirt. A 31-7 ball game, now setting up the extra point to make it 32. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is high enough, and it is good, splitting the uprights. 32-7, Tim. How many times have we seen Tahquitz ending the first half on a score?
Well, it's no surprise. I mean, they have their hurry up. I mean, they have their hurry up offense. I mean, they're just so quick onto the ball. They have all these weapons in Jonte Price, Michael Stewart, Derek Peters, Sean Asparis. I mean, you can go. The list goes on, and I think the Hemet defense just does not know what to do because they don't. There's just so many weapons, and when you have so many weapons like that, it's hard to double cover one of them and leave the other one open. So, it's really needs to. The Hemet defense really needs to show some lockdown play in football.
A 32-7 ball game, and again, Tahquitz potentially ending the first half on a crucial score to blow this game wide open. 19 seconds to go. The Titans here to set up for the kick. A short high dribbler taking a Hemet bounce, and Rue will catch it inside the 30. Only about a 9/10 of a second came off the clock. 18.1 to go here in this first half, and Hemet might be just taking one knee to head down to the locker room and not make things any worse.
Yeah, and it's always smart. You never want to cough up the ball. You don't want to throw an interception. I mean, it is tempting to get another score because you're down so much, but, you know, it's also very wise not to cough up the ball. So hopefully they'll just kind of knee it and take it into the locker room.
So Denbow and the offense of Hemet will run in for what looks to be, they might be running a play as a matter of fact. Denbow here on under center. They're going to sweep it, and they're going to actually set up for the option pass. Pass complete. They're going to say yes. So the pass is caught there by Denbow on the option pass. They do have one timeout left. Only 4 seconds came off the clock.
And that was a good play by Hemet. Boy, it really caught the Tahquitz defense off guard. I think if you had maybe a little stronger arm, that would have gone maybe for a touchdown. But again, it's about being ready, and let's see, maybe Hemet can get another score in here with only 9 seconds left. So we'll see what happens.
Hemet does call timeout, and with the ball at the Hemet 46-yard line, you do have enough time to run 2 plays depending if you do work the sidelines. And my guess is Hemet will use those sidelines, but gain maybe about 15 to 20 so that the arm of Denbow won't be wasted.
Well, again, and I think then speaking onto the Tahquitz side, I think if you are the Tahquitz defense, you're going to want to play in a prevent defense. You're not going to want to allow any deep plays. But, you never know what might happen, especially with 9 seconds left on the clock.
9.3 to be exact. Here in this first half, Denbow back under center. Drops back, stays in pocket, firing it up the middle, almost picked off. But Tahquitz could not pounce on the ball. Incomplete, 5 seconds off the clock. Only about 4.2 to go in this first half.
And again, we see, it's another miscommunication error with Denbow and one of his receivers. I mean, if Hemet's going to want to capitalize, they got to talk to the receiver. They got to say, okay, I'm going to be here. You put my hand up, make eye contact, something, so that there can be a completed pass.
Most likely the last play of the game. Pass complete up along the near side to Dudley. Dudley trying to shed a few tackles, but gets down to the 40. It's a first down, but the clock reading now at 0. A 32-7 ball game in large part to Jonte Price's 2 touchdowns, but give a lot of credit to this Tahquitz offense as they've really come out firing at all cylinders. We'll take a halftime timeout right here. This is high school football right here on PlayOnSports.com. The Titans lead it by a score of 32-7. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back here to Bulldog Stadium in Hemet, California. The Tahquitz Titans here leading it by a score of 32-7 in large part to Jonte Price's 2 touchdowns and a mix of everything from Derek Peters down to Mytorius Boyd breaking this game wide open, and again a very common offensive strategy here for the Titans as they brought it into the end zone in 1:04 to end the first half of play. And again, this Tahquitz team really just sucking a lot out of this Hemet squad, and they've really kind of just taken control from start to finish.
Well, and one thing, Manny, that we really have to look at is the offense of Tahquitz. I mean, it's just unstoppable, and if Hemet wants to have anything to say in this game, they're going to have to buckle down on defense and get some scores. Now, this is where Tahquitz really does capitalize in the second half, is what we call a second half team. Hemet's has to find some way of production on offense. I mean, they've had one great pass, which it has been somewhat of their strength, but at the same time, it's got to be consistency. And so hopefully Hemet's made their halftime adjustments and can come back sometime in this game.
On the onside kick, a flag on the play, though the unexpected onside kick actually drew a Hemet player offside, so pushing back about 5 yards here on the play. Smart move. Obviously, Hemet does want to get the ball to start the second half because after being down 25, you want to be the team that kind of pushes forward.
Well, and one thing, when you're down a good amount of points, I guess it's about 25 points, it's tough to come back, and so you're going to want to score right away, and that's what Hemet was thinking, which is the right mindset, but it's got to, again, it's about consistency. It's about discipline. It's about execution, and that's what Hemet really needs to look at here in this second half.
So after the reset on the 5-yard penalty, Tahquitz not expecting the onside kick. What will they do here? They're going to take a short kick as it'll be fair caught at the 34-yard line. That's where the Titans will start the drive here on offense.
And Tahquitz is really smart, not running the ball. They don't want to get a fumble, so they just, on the really short squib high kick, they just call fair catch, and then that's just the end of the play. So it doesn't allow any fumbles. It doesn't allow any crazy mischief going on by Hemet. So it allows the offense to get on the field and do their work.
So the Titans will start off here on 1st down and 10 with the ball at the 37, as a matter of fact. Just a second off the clock here to start the third quarter of play. Jonte Price in the backfield. Bernie here in the shotgun. Price takes the handoff. Finds a hole. Nope, along the far side. Does another juke. Spins off a tackle. Up at the 40. Down at the 30. Inside the 20. Breaks through a tackle and then gets dragged down at the 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Tahquitz football is all about. I mean, it's just run up the gut, just push on through, and it's just phenomenal to see this offense explode at every moment possible in their games.
Just looking at my right, actually, where Joel Diaz is our producer, I'm just looking the look on his face. He's just disappointed at the fact that I'm just crushing him in high school fantasy football, picking up Jonte Price in the first round. On the pass complete on the short one down to Veras. It is caught, but gains of about 1.5 yards on the play. That's what you get, Joel, for not taking Price in the first round. He had a chance, but hey, he said, I have a feeling that Price may not have a breakout year this year. He definitely gets wrong.
Well, and like we keep on mentioning before, this is a team that started all sophomores last year, so they have experience. They know where to go. They know the holes. They know how to power through.
But this time, Derek Peters, who lost the ball before going down. No, they're saying that they're going to say he was down as the ball came out. Are they going to say touchdown? Yes! Derek Peters into the end zone for the score as he takes it in to the house.
And Manny, I don't know how many, that was probably like, 3 or 4 plays, and they've already scored. I mean, this is how high-powered Tahquitz's offense is. They have Jonte Price is their bread and butter in their run game. They have Michael Stewart, Derek Peters, Sean Asparis. They just have it all.
So the kick out on the extra point is a no good. We'll keep it right here, folks. 11:01 to go here in the third quarter. Only 59 seconds coming off the clock, and Tahquitz on 3 plays, taking it over the pylons and in for a touchdown. Now they've broken the game well out of reach here at 31 points.
And Manny, I mean, I think the reason we see such a quick score, we can attribute that to the quick offense of Tahquitz. I mean, we see so much of it, especially maybe at Oregon, and that's why they're so powerful, is because they're so quick and they're so good in their run game. That's why they get they score so many points. And that's what we see here again in this Tahquitz offense. That's what we see in many of their games, especially in that Murrieta Mesa game. There was a total of 107 points scored in that game. So, this Tahquitz offense has yet to be stopped in their games.
Fighting for the ball after the kickoff, Gonzo Martinez lost the ball but fell on top of it up along the far side. He was down at about the 27. So that's where the Bulldogs will start the drive up on offense here on 1st down and 10. Clock reading here at 10:57 to go here in the third quarter. Tahquitz again on top by a score of 38-7, a 31-point cushion. And it only took the Titans 3 plays to get that ball into the end zone as they started the drive on off in the third quarter. Hemet back on offense here. 1st down and 10 at the 33. Denbaugh here under center. Sweep handoff down to Rue as he runs into the defensive line of Tahquitz. Back to the line of scrimmage. Can't gain any more there.
Yeah, and I think it'll be interesting to see how Hemet comes out here in the second half. What they have to offer, how they're going to get into this end zone has yet to be shown. I mean, they do have a nice pass into that end zone, which is a good connection, but there's really nothing else that Hemet has shown to that has shown what they can do.
2nd down at about 9. Quick pass to the tight end, and Vance Edenter out of reach and incomplete. Right now, aside from Rue, really this Hemet offense has been kind of a little bit out of sync. They really can't get the pass play going. They found the receivers, they just can't really connect them.
Yeah, and I think that's what Alex really, he needs to talk to his receivers and really take some leadership. I mean, make some eye contact, something in order to get those passes into his receivers' hands.
3rd down and a long 9 here. Denbaugh on the quick pass, looking for Enter, but wasn't really looking for the ball, throwing incomplete.
Again, another miscommunication. At least I think that's what it is. I'm not sure what Hemet is trying to do. I mean, it's good that they're showing their pass game, but they've got to execute now. They've shown that they have a pass game. Now they got to execute, and that's how they're going to work. But right now, Tahquitz is really holding their own.
So Hemet forced down on a 3 and out here. Only took 49 seconds off the clock. Chance at a block. Oh, Tahquitz almost had a chance to put hands up on the punt. On a Hemet bounce, the ball is going to be down at the 29-yard line. And that's where the Tahquitz drive will start here on 1st and 10. We'll take a quick timeout right here. 9:58 to go here in the third quarter of play with Tahquitz on top, 38-7. You're watching Friday Night Football right here on PlayOnSports.com.
Tonight's third quarter is being brought to you by Quality Plus Construction. With over 15 years of serving the commercial and retail industry in Southern California, Quality Plus Services will handle all of your maintenance and construction needs. Located at 1655 East 6th Street in Corona, California, call Quality Plus Services for your next project. Find out more information at www.qpfixme.com or call them at 888-QP-FIX-ME. That's 888-773-4963.
Quick pass play. It's caught there by Michael Stewart and dragged down at the 30 after the timeout. Michael Stewart connecting from the pass from Benjamin Moreno. Move those chains.
I mean, again, like we like to mention, Michael Stewart, one of their weapons, big play. If there's a big play going on, Michael Stewart, Jonte Price is going to be involved, and especially Benjamin Moreno, who we don't forget to mention as the leader of this offense.
Back on 1st down and 10 into Hemet territory at the 33. Ball handed off on the play action. As a matter of fact, looking for Stewart. Pass is complete. Up at the 30. Breaks a tackle. Now inside the 10. Up at the 5. Into the corner for the touchdown. Michael Stewart adding 6 more for the Titans as he takes it to the house.
Yeah, man, it's just I don't know really what else to say. 2 plays, and they're in the end zone. They're just so quick. They're so together. They're in rhythm, and when you're in a rhythm, you get quick scores. And I'm not really sure what else to say, but whoa, Nelly. it's phenomenal to see how high-powered this Tahquitz offense is.
Botch snap. They're actually going to go for 2 here. Looking for a shot. It's the kicker. Trying to break through a few tackles, but cannot reach the end zone. But you can't take away the Michael Stewart touchdown on the 32-yard pass play from Moreno down to Michael Stewart. This time only taking off under a minute. 9:18 to go here in this one. We'll leave it right here. 44-7 as Tahquitz here leads it by a total of 37 points. Tim Barker, you said it best. Whoa, Nelly.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, we have yet to see any team. Maybe Murrieta Mesa, but again, there's just so much offense in that game. You don't know if there was any defense. If we look at the Tahquitz offense, there really hasn't been a team that has made a statement against them. I mean, I think once we get into league play, maybe if we look at Citrus Valley, we look at Beaumont. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if there's a team that can really stop this high-powered offense, this truck of an offense in Tahquitz.
Tahquitz here setting up the kickoff. It's a short high one as it'll bounce out of bounds at the 32. And we'll draw an illegal procedure called against the Titans. The ball will most likely be starting at the 40-yard line, or correction, at the 35 as a matter of fact here. So that'll bring back the Hemet offense here on 1st down and 10. And, you said it best, Tim, and, not to take away Hemet's effort, because they've really put a valiant effort here thus far up to this point. But, for this Bulldog team, they've really just run into probably one of the hottest teams out here in the Inland Empire.
Oh, yeah, and again, like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Tahquitz has really shown a lot of resilience. Last year going 2-8 with such a young team and starting many sophomores, and now looking at them juniors now, and boy, they've really shown how much maturity they've come through, how much maturity. That's all you can really say, and they've really shown that on the field, and they've really shown that in their turnaround, a phenomenal turnaround. They'll definitely be a scary team starting here in league play.
So after the 1st down, Rue took the handoff, but got brought behind the line of scrimmage, losing 2 on the play. Now set up here 2nd down and 12. Dead ball here on the shotgun snap, looking for Anthony Dudley, and it's way over his head, and that'll be an incomplete pass.
And that's been really most of the story here for Hemet's offense. They've done a lot of passing, but there hasn't been really a lot of connection with their receivers.
3rd down now and 12 yards to go with the ball at the 32-yard line. And not to take away the defensive effort here by Tahquitz, which we'll mention in a minute here after this 3rd down play. On the handoff. Another loss of yards there on the handoff. 4th down, bringing out the punting unit for Hemet.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it enough, but, again, I think if we look at going back to the Rubidoux game, that's the game that the Tahquitz defense really shut them out, and you can see so much of a resemblance in this game to in that game, and they're really showing their defense as well as their offense. Tahquitz is just playing phenomenal football right now.
Line drive kicks, hits the 35 and bounces Hemet's way down to the 21-yard line, down right there, and that will start the drive here for Tahquitz. And Hemet, or for Tahquitz's defense, mentioning this last week when they took on Temecula Valley, They started that game with 7 quarters without giving up a touchdown. They shut them out in the first quarter, but they finally gave one up to start the second quarter. But to go 2 full games without giving up a score, especially with what they had to deal with last year, that you're just really setting the bar up very high.
Oh, yeah, and when you set that bar that high, I mean, especially we've even heard Jonte Price tell us when they set the bar high, they keep it that high, and they expect a lot out of their teammates. And so when you keep that expectancy in your teammates, it really propels your team forward. It really allows the leaders to come on top, and that's what we've seen all season in Tahquitz football.
So after the first down, it was a botched handoff. Price tried to do something with it, but instead get dragged down for a loss of about 5. So clock here running at 7:30 to go in this third quarter. Second down now and about 15. On the shotgun. Play action thrown complete to Asparis. Asparis trying to get back to the top of the first down marker, but down now at the 21-yard line, so a gain of about 4. Got some back, but it's still going to set up third down and long.
Yeah, and one thing we'll have to start watching out for is a new rule that CIF has put into place here called the mercy. It's almost like the mercy rule. Now they don't necessarily stop the game; they just keep the clock running, in no matter what the situation, besides maybe timeouts. But just because he wants to get the play going, just so we don't, allow the other team just to be embarrassed.
On third down, Price again with the handoff, running to the far side, gaining of about 7, but that'll be a 3-and-out for the Tahquitz offense. Bringing out the punting unit. The mercy rule that Tim Barker did mention, it will start in the fourth quarter, and the rules are if you're down by 35 or more, the team that's winning, essentially that's up by 35 or more, the clock will only stop after either a referee's discretion or a timeout. Even if the runner does go out of bounds, the clock will keep running per sportsmanship. Ball punted away as it's downed by the returner at the 36-yard line. Clock now reading at 6:10 to go in this third quarter.
And that was number 16, Justice Judge. And, I think, again, we have to look at the special teams. I think that's where maybe Hemet might capitalize. Right now they have great field position. If they want to maybe get a score here, this is the time to do it, especially starting at their own 36-yard line. They have to really show that what Hemet football is all about right here.
On the handoff up the middle. Gains of about 3 yards there on the play. New ball carrier here for Hemet, and it was John Romansky who took it there on the play. About 3 yards here, second down now and about 7. Clock ticking here, 5:45 to go in the third quarter. Again, Tahquitz leading 44-7. Rue here now, this time with the handoff, running to the far hash mark, and gains about 3 before running into the pile. A big turnaround here for Tahquitz, already doubling the win total from last year. They finished 2-8, as Tim mentioned. A lot of sophomores last year did start, and you really see a lot of the senior leadership, and it's really led by the stellar Jonte Price, the running back, who's been, you could say, the backbone of the offense, but with a lot of weapons. You could say that he's been the one that's kind of been the go-to guy for the Tahquitz offense.
Well, and one thing we can say about Jonte Price is he's averaging almost 200 yards a game, and now I would guess he probably has 17 or 18 touchdowns in only 5 games. I mean, that's just a ridiculous amount, and if that doesn't jump out on the stat sheet to any of these colleges, then I would blow my mind. I just don't understand why this man and Jonte Price isn't being looked at. I mean, I think maybe next year when he becomes a senior, this year if he's the senior, that maybe more colleges start looking at him.
Botch snapped here. Denbach can't pick it up, and Tahquitz will scoop it up. They'll take the ball up to the 42. Denbach could not handle the snap under center, lost control, and Tahquitz will take the ball on the turnover.
And that's what we've also mentioned as well, is is Tahquitz really capitalizes on mistakes, and that's, I think, been a lot of what the story has been tonight, besides Jonte Price, is Tahquitz being able to capitalize on the mistakes of both offensively and defensively against Hemet here.
So the Titans back on the field after the turnover here. 4:50 to go in the third quarter. First down and 10, the ball down at the 42-yard line where it's set up. Right here in the shotgun with Price in the backfield. Price will take the handoff and runs into the powerhouse of that Hemet defense. And on the tackle there, Derek Peel, who showed off his anger.
Yeah, I mean, I think, any type of, good play by Hemet is a good confidence booster. And when you have and you tackle Jonte Price, Derek Peters in the background, it's always, a good confidence booster and really puts a lot of power and confidence in your team.
4:20 to go. Marino here on the shotgun, escaping a few tackles and gets brought down in for the sack. A lot of sea of red there to make the play. Looks as if the offensive line of Tahquitz kind of just shut down.
Well, and I think what Hemet is now starting to show is their blitz package. They're really putting a lot of pressure on the run game, putting a lot of pressure on Benjamin Moreno. I think they may have found their stopping point here against Tahquitz. We'll see what happens.
Third down now, under 3:50 to go. Moreno here rolling out, trying to escape a few tackles. He'll cross the line of scrimmage and then gets taken down into Hemet territory at the 45, but it's well short of the first down. So the Titans will, after the turnover, be forced on a 3-and-out, and that will bring out the punting unit.
Yeah, and I think this is just more of a safety thing than anything. They don't want to give, if they lose it on fourth down, they don't want to give Hemet any good field position. So I think if you kick it, you'll pin them probably in the 15, 10-yard area, and they'll have to go almost the length of the field.
Tahquitz takes the punt. And it'll bounce out of bounds by the looks of it inside the 12. So 2:51 to go here in the third quarter. New quarterback here for Tahquitz, as a matter of fact, as Fernando Blanco was the one who took the drive on the 3-and-out for the Titans. Right now, Tahquitz again up by 37 points. Again, 2:51 to go in this third quarter. Hemet now stepping back out onto the field. First down and 10 at the 12.5. Denbow here on the drop back, looking for John Romanski, but it's out of reach again and incomplete.
Yeah, and I think, again, Hemet has, I think if they're going to go back to practice here next week, they really need to focus on connecting with their receivers and Mr. Dunbow. I think it's tough. You can definitely see that their weaknesses. You can that's what they need to go into the playbook and practice next week and really work on.
Second down now and 10 with the ball at the 12.5. On the sweep, here is the running back in Kyle Kennedy, as Kennedy tried to find along the far side and got taken down for about a yard gain. Now third down and 9.
It looks like there was a penalty marker roughing the passer there on Tahquitz, and just because you're up so big doesn't mean you can make silly mistakes like that, and it gives automatic first down.
And especially after a running play too, that's the last thing you want to do. Although you're up big, you don't want to give any team, no matter how big a lead, free yards. More importantly, that stops the clock as well. As you hear out there, Beaumont also in the lead against West Valley in Mountain Pass League play. They're leading it by a score 48-12. And again, we talk about Beaumont. That's one game I'm actually really looking forward to. They got a new stadium built. In fact, they got a new scoreboard with the first jumbotron in the southern section. You can't even say the big time schools out here in SoCal that have it. And Beaumont you know, a city that really supports high school sports. Great to see that a team that's really putting a lot of effort into their athletic program.
Well, and one thing, if you can see that a school spends a lot of money on their sports program, you know they really care, and you know that they see their team going somewhere. And especially, we can say Beaumont with their jumbotron. We can say Tahquitz with their phenomenal, beautiful stadium. When you see a team and a school putting a lot of work and a lot of care into their sports facilities, you know that they really want their programs to do well. And they even want more kids to come into their program as well, too.
After the quick pass completion, 3rd down now and 6 yards to go at the 35. Denbow here dropping back, looking for a receiver out of the hands of Trayvon Hunter, out of reach and incomplete. A flag is on the play, and it might be PI called against Tahquitz.
Yeah, that was Sharif Ali on the defense there, and you can't keep a hand on the receiver for very long, and that's what the referees took note of and put the laundry on the field.
So the obvious PI called against Tahquitz. Will move the ball at midfield. In fact, it'll cross just over into Tahquitz territory. 1:50 to go as it stops the clock after the penalty. 1st down and 10 again with the score at 44-7 with Tahquitz on top. Denbow here under center with 3 receivers to his left. Ball handed off to Rue, and he gains about 3 to maybe 4 on the play, setting up now 2nd down and a very short 6.
Yeah, I think maybe if you're Hemet, I think you really need to stick with Rue and really power the ball through. Maybe if you get lucky, connect with one of their receivers, but I think Rue's really been their sticking point and their success here in this game.
Rue again with the handoff, spins through a tackle, but again, a lot of white jerseys sniffing out the play, and he gets tackled for a big loss. Now setting up here 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 11, as a matter of fact. Back out of the no huddle. Hemet trying to maybe squeeze in a couple more plays before the end of the 3rd. Again, it's 44-7. The Mercy Room might be in effect if they cannot score before the end of this 3rd quarter. Again, we will explain the rules in just a minute. Denbow back on 3rd down and long with 2 receivers both left and right. Senior receiver in the slot. Rue taking the handoff and trying to spin over a tackle, but gets dragged again behind the line of scrimmage. Now on 4th down with under 30 to go.
Yeah, and like I said, I think this Tahquitz defense has really started to kind of figure out what Hemet is all about, and they've really played hard football here in this 4th quarter and not allowed Hemet to score again.
Under 10 and counting, the clock still running. Might be the last play before the end of this 3rd quarter. Denbow here takes the snap on the shotgun. Play action, escaping the blitz, and he'll take it himself. He'll get the 1st down, coughs up the football. Tahquitz scoops it up. They'll take it the other way. Tahquitz ends the 3rd quarter on a fumble return for a touchdown.
And Manny, like I said, this is just unbelievable football by Tahquitz. They pick it up, and the amount of force that you hit with in a tackle pops that ball out. They pick it up and run it back all the way over a touchdown. It's exactly what Hemet didn't want, and that's another backbreaker for this Hemet team.
50-7. The Titans rolling away with this one. As the Titans will set up here for the extra point. I guess one man wanted to join in on the fun. And he is the 11th man. The snap, the hold, the kick is up. It'll be long enough, it's high enough, and it's straight and good. That is a way to end the 3rd quarter. On a return after a fumble for the touchdown. A big gain by Denbow ends up being 6 points the other way. 51-7. We'll take a timeout right here. High school football right here on PlayOnSports.com, where high school sports lives right here.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com, high school sports lives here.
I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say after all that. Denball had a great chance to give a little bit of momentum back on Hemet's side, and all of a sudden the second fumble of the game ends up being points the other way for Tahquitz, and what would have been a 44-7 still would have been a mercy rule anyway, but all of a sudden the game has really completely changed, and you can definitely say that Tahquitz can most likely hold on with 12 minutes to go.
Well, and man, I really thought that Dunbow really was using his head. He was powering the ball with his legs, and he forgot to hang on to the ball. I mean, that's the most important part. You get so excited, you're getting a lot of yards, but you forget the fundamentals. You got to hang on to the ball, and what turned out to be a 6, maybe more yards play ended up turning into 6 points for the other team. So, hopefully there'll be some type of play or confidence with this Hemet team going into the fourth quarter.
Ball returned here by Romanowski as he takes it into the 32. Again, starting the drive for the Bulldogs. Again, a 51-7 ball game. Clock will be running now as the mercy rule here for sportsmanship rules set up by both the CIF Southern section and the state. The rules state that after 3 quarters of play, no matter what happens in the fourth quarter, if a team is leading by 35 or more, if it happens at the start of the fourth or during by any team, the clock will run even if the runner goes out of bounds, even if they score a touchdown. The clock will only stop by the referee's discretion, not on penalties. It'll only stop on the referee discretion and a called timeout. As you see on the top of your screen, both teams have 3 timeouts on each side. Now the clock here at 11 to go. On first down, the play action. Denbo gets rocked by the defensive line of Tahquitz.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those hits that you gotta you can't really be ready for, but you gotta know it's coming because when it's coming from your blind side and you can't see it, and it almost surprises you. But it really looked tough for Alex Denbo.
Yeah, some miscommunication on the left wing as you just saw a white jersey hungry. I mean, he was starving for the tackle. Timeout called here by Hemet. We'll take a quick timeout as well. Again, a 51-7 ball game with 10:25 to go. You're watching Friday Night Football right here on PlayOnSports.com.
The fourth quarter is brought to you by Minutemen Plumbing. Make Minutemen your first choice for all your plumbing needs. Need a commercial contracting plumber? Then call Minutemen today at 1-800-932-5327. Again, that's 1-800-932-5327. Minutemen Plumbing, the proud sponsor of tonight's fourth quarter action.
Fourth quarter here, 51-7. Back again. Mercy rule here in effect after Hemet called time. And one thing we do have to mention with the short time that we have here is we still have to name our player of the game, and it's kind of too early to tell. And, I think for the first time we might have a little bit of a debate here, Tim.
Yeah, I think we can call on Jonte Price, but I think we also have to get credit to the other players, maybe even Derek Peters. We can look at Sean Asparis. I think maybe more Derek Peters as being one of those set players who doesn't get a lot of calls, but when he is called upon, he really powers through the football into the end zone. And I think, if anything, we might be calling his name, but we have yet to see towards the end of the game here.
So you can't say Derek Peters, but Joel Diaz is iterating that, I'm checking my fantasy team, and it's kind of a close ball game here as Benjamin Moreno, who's also thrown 3 touchdown passes. Not a lot of yards, though, but he's been really also one of the more important key factors, and although he's been an integral part of the offense, he's played a huge part today as well.
And, Manny, thanks for calling me out on that. I mean, Benjamin Moreno is the heart and soul of this team. He's the quarterback. He's the one who focuses so much on keeping this team together, and when times are tough, he really makes sure that the team is confident and stays focused.
On the 4th down play, again, Tahquitz up on the blitz, and they sniffed it out very well as Denbow could not escape the sack. A turnover on downs, and Tahquitz will take the ball into Hemet territory at the 30-yard line. So it looks as if Hemet or Tahquitz will come back onto the field here on offense. Got a new quarterback here under center in Nolan Valdez. Now setting up here in the shotgun. 1st down and 10. Clock ticking here, 8:45 and counting. Running back takes it up the middle and gains of about 2 yards. You know, you take talking about this game today, and most likely it'll be Tahquitz with the victory. But in this league, the only team that actually came in under 500 was Hemet. The rest of the way, every team that really, I think for the next 3 games, depending on how the records fare out the next couple of weeks, over 500 teams that they will be seeing the rest of the year. And you got teams like Citrus Hill that Jonte Price during the Player of the Game interview, he really wants to take on. That'll be coming up in about 3 weeks before the Beaumont game. Beaumont also a very tough team as well. West Valley, who's also getting beat by Beaumont, they're also coming in 4-1. I mean, this league, by far one of the most competitive, really, in this division.
Yeah, and I think one thing that we really have to focus on is Tahquitz, because not only are they have they been just such a turnaround, but they've not only been a turnaround, but they've powered through. They have really not had, like I've been mentioning, no defensive stops. And so when you don't have anybody stopping their offense, it's you don't know what the answer is for them. And so until we see a stop from a stop of this Tahquitz offense, I'm not really sure if and there is going to be a team that's going to if the team that's going to come on top, it's going to be Tahquitz.
And that's the thing too, just because they've only been around for a couple of years. It's their 6th year as a school. And as a matter of fact, they're a 6th year as a football program as well. And you know, they've kind of been the bottom feeders of this league year in and year out, and they've never had a winning record. As a matter of fact, Tim, with the win today, they'll finally finish at 5 wins or better for the first time in school history.
And boy, and I have to give great compliments to Dennis Gregovich as Tahquitz takes a timeout here. I think if anybody's showing leadership, it has to be Gregovich, turning a team around from 2-8, especially doing the scary thing of starting sophomores and just putting his neck out on the line for this Tahquitz team. And when you can do that and show results, your players have so much confidence in you. And when you can have confident players on the field, that just shows so much character for this Tahquitz team.
So back out of the timeout here. The Hemet band right in front of us, giving us the timeout entertainment. Tahquitz here setting up the field goal. A 45-yard field goal. The snap, the hold, the kick, it is going to be no good. Hemet will try to return it, but it was down in the end zone for a touchback. Clock here ticking still at 6:30 and counting to go. And you know, again, you mentioned Dennis Gregovich, and again, a coach that comes back for a 2nd year, even after a season like they had last year. Really, any coach that really comes back for another year, that's definitely a good sign for any program that it's going in the right direction.
Well, and one thing you want to mention about coaches is you want to see a consistency. I mean, a lot of times in football or in any sport, if you don't have a consistent coach year by year, systems change, players change, starters change. You know, different aspects of a game for a team changes. And so if you have a consistency, then you somewhat can have success. And I think with Dennis Gregovich being such a great example, sticking around after a 2-8 season, you can only think about how many of the freshmen and the sophomores want to play for him and get on that field and really represent Tahquitz as a team and as a school.
Clock here ticking, 5:25 to go. Denbach still under center, keeping the first string on for this Hemet offense. By the looks of it, the Tahquitz second string defense making a stop there. Another flag on the play. It looks as if there's a little bit of blood boiling up on the field.
Well, and we can't forget that these teams are kind of crosstown rivals, one street separating them in Florida Avenue. But you know that just comes with the I guess comes with the territory. So you know that's just kind of typical of have a little feathers ruffled, as we say.
Personal foul penalty call here against Tahquitz after the late hit. A timeout called here by Tahquitz. And I think it might be Gregovich trying to mention to his team that maybe that personal foul call might not have been the right thing to do there, especially with the big lead like this. But in any case, we'll take a timeout as well under 5 minutes to go here in the fourth and final quarter, again with Tahquitz on top by a score of 51-7. This is high school football right here on PlayOnSports.com.
Stay tuned for our PlayOnSports.com postgame show, where we will select our player of the game, as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game that's coming up following the game on your destination for high school sports, PlayOnSports.com.
Do that shimmy shake, Tim Parker. The Hemet bat right in front of us.
Always putting a smile on our faces.
little jump on it there, right? To show some spirit there. 51-7 again, the score. Timeout after the timeout here. 4:41 to go here in the fourth and final quarter. I like your moves there, Tim.
Hey, I only learned from the best, Manny.
I learned well. I mean, in any case. On the handoff, a couple yards there on the play. Clock here ticking after the timeout here. Under 4:30 to go. Again, Tahquitz here by a score of 51-7. Very interesting to see how this league will shape up, and I'm very curious to see how the rest of the teams will take Tahquitz now. This team's already at nearly the 50-point mark here, average-wise for Tahquitz's offense and defensively. I mean, they're not letting anything get past them, and going into the rest of this season, I'm very curious to see how the rest of the teams in this league will treat a very, very talented and a very hot streaking Tahquitz ball club.
Well, Manny, and not to say that I wasn't looking forward to this game because it is the start of league play, but we have five, including Tahquitz, 5 teams that are 4-1, and one team in Citrus Hill that's 5-0, and so that's what excites me about the rest of this, the rest of the schedule for Tahquitz, and really to see who can stop them offensively, who Tahquitz is going to face defensively. It'll be a fun ride here in league play to see who's going to really come out on top and who's going to really get down to the grind.
And that's the thing, too. On fourth down here, back under center here, Denbach trying to extend this drive. He'll push the line over the first down marker. He'll get the first down. So that'll keep the Hemet offense on the field. And, again, in Southern Section football, 3 out of the total teams in each league have the right to go to the playoffs. There's 1 or 2, depending on the size of the division, are allowed wild card teams. And with the 5-1 record, it might be too early to say, but if Tahquitz kind of maybe does a little topsy-turvy, maybe wins 1 or 2 games, they might have an argument here in this case, but I can tell you right now that Tahquitz is not thinking about that. They want to be one of the top 3 teams. They've never made the playoffs before in their 6-year history, and already 5-1, going 500 or better is a huge accomplishment, but really reaching the top 3 in their league would be the ultimate goal here at this point.
Well, Manny, and Tahquitz, with the way they're playing right now, I wouldn't be surprised if they're the first-place team. I mean, it's just been out of mind, out of sight for this Tahquitz offense, just powering through. I mean, with the way they're playing right now, like I said, they're probably going to be the top team. Now we have yet to see them play for Beaumont. We have yet to see Citrus Hill. I mean, those are the games that you Tahquitz fans out there are going to really want to watch and focus on, because that's what's going to determine. That's going to be a good gauge to see where this Tahquitz team is and to see if they're going to be on top.
Another flag on the play, and it'll be called against Hemet. It'll be a false start penalty, so they'll push back about 5 here on 3rd down, now and 11. Pass complete, down to Dudley. Dudley along the far side, gains about 12. He'll get the first down, and that'll keep the offense here on the field.
Well, Manny, and one thing I would like to mention about Hemet is that's been their real key to this game is their short passes. I think that's what's really connected. Now they got to take those short passes and make them a little longer, and then make them a little longer, and then make them a little longer. And I think that's what's really going to help them in their success in football.
Pass picked off there. And Tahquitz will return it down to the 45. So that'll be the drive killer as Tahquitz takes the interception, and with the clock still ticking at 45 seconds to go, you can wrap a bow in this one.
Yeah, and I think if we were looking at the player of the game, we have to call on Benjamin Moreno and his phenomenal passing. I think when he throws the ball, it's a perfect spiral. He really shows his connection to his receivers, and I think not only that, but most importantly, his leadership of this Tahquitz football team, and I think he will have to be our player of the game for tonight.
They'll take the V formation. Under 10 seconds to go. Tahquitz will get their 5th win of the year, and more importantly, they'll start the season in Mountain Pass League play undefeated at 1-0. They win it by final score 51-7. We'll take a quick timeout here and bring up Benjamin Moreno for our player of the game interview. You've been watching high school football right here on PlayOn Sports, where high school sports lives right here. Again, Tahquitz victorious over Hemet 51-7. We'll be back right back after this.
We can get a player up here.
Ah, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
shot.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to PlayOnSports.com and our player of the game here again. Tahquitz winning by a final score 51-7. Benjamin Moreno here with 3 touchdown passes, 2 connected to Michael Stewart. First time, we got to mention this, first time ever that this school has won 5 games in one season. Now we talked about this earlier, but really, how does it feel to finally be this team to finally go over the hump?
Feels great. I mean, we're getting our team together. We got a brotherhood going, and I mean, it feels good.
You talk about a team that, last year finishing 2-8, and a team that, as you look at the standings, yeah, you're 5-1, but the real big thing you see on the standings is you jump 150 slots in the Southern section. You guys are in the middle of the pack in the Southern section, one of the best teams in Division 8, one of the best teams in just in your area too. And you guys have faced some really good competition. Taking on Murrieta Mesa, only losing by 13 to Temecula Valley at Division 2. I mean, how do you guys just keep that flow going in week after week?
Our coaches, every time after a win, they tell us, I mean, we had a good game, but look to the next one. I mean, that's what we're looking at week by week. We don't look ahead. We don't look back. It's just take one game at a time. And
how about yourself, too? Because, you really – I know we mentioned a lot of Jonte Price, and, we try to, mention a lot of you guys here throughout the games. But today was really a team effort, especially offensively, too. Michael Stewart getting 2 touchdown passes out of your arm, who you threw for 3. The running game did very well. The defensive output was phenomenal today. I mean, do you feel like this might have been one of your best games this season so far?
Yeah, I can. I mean, it's a crosstown rivalry. Us coming over here and doing this on their field, I mean, it feels great. I mean, the defense, we watched film all week, and we know what we could do. And just handing the ball off to Jonte and then throwing it in the air, I mean, it felt great.
And talk about the league, too. Obviously, 1-0 to start league play. And obviously, Hemet, don't want to take away from them. Obviously, one of the lower teams in this league. But the rest of the season, you guys are facing some very tough competition. And it's very unique only because, you've seen these teams week in and year in and year out. And it's obviously different competition compared to what you guys see in non-league. What changes have you guys made so far so that you guys can be much more competitive going in week in and week out when you guys start a league play?
Just keep working hard. I mean, go to practice, stay focused. I mean, game plan. I mean, we've got our teams coming up. We've got other rivals coming up, and we're just ready.
And obviously, we talked about this too. Hemet last week, they did beat you guys on your home field, and finally take it 2-up this week. And I mean, it is kind of, in a way, you can say a crosstown rival, only one street separating you guys. I mean, how does it feel to not only start the season 1-0, but, beat a really a tough team like Hemet?
Yeah, it felt great. I mean, last year they did catch us on our home field, but it feels good to come back and get some revenge.
So our good guy in Benjamin Moreno here, our PlayOnSports.com player of the game, 3 touchdown passes here tonight as they won it by a final score of 51-7. From all of us here on Play On Sports, this is Manny Nunez. We'll see you next week for Tahquitz as they will take on San Jacinto in their second game of Mountain Pass League play. Signing off here. We'll see you back next week.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot.